All right. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the RK Leadership Podcast, where we empower tomorrow's leaders through the sharing of experience, knowledge, and inspiring stories. I'm your host, Rob Kamranpoor, and today I have a very special guest, Mariam Afshin. She's the head of data science at RBC Technology and Operation. She's got a PhD in biomedical engineering and a master's in electrical engineering, and the list goes on and on. But before I get into all of that stuff, I'd like to thank you so much for being here with us today, Mariam. And again, we greatly appreciate your time. I know you've got a busy schedule. Without further ado, if you want to introduce yourself any further, or else we can jump in right into the questions.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. I think you did great.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, Mariam, welcome to the show again. Can you start by sharing a little about your journey and what led you to your current role as a director in RBC?
Great question. I'll just try to give you a bit of history of my career journey, how I ended up being here. Around, I think, 15 years ago, I came to Canada as an international student to do my PhD in biomedical engineering, as you mentioned. First year of my PhD, I started doing image processing, but I felt like if I want to stay 4 years doing this, it's not challenging me enough. So, I had a conversation with my supervisor. We had a change of direction. By that time, AI was in very early stages, so we managed to reshift and direct me to the direction of applying machine learning and AI for cardiac images. So that's how I started. That's how I came to Canada. After I finished my PhD, I actually did my PhD for GE Healthcare. I was working for GE for a couple of years to translate my project for them. So that's how I started AI in the clinical industry. I thought that university and faculty path is gonna be the path, but then after 2 years I had a pivot and I joined industry. I noticed that I just want to practice what we develop to have impact on people's life and feel it rather than doing only research and stay within the publications. So I joined pharmaceutical industries, and then I was joined as a data scientist myself, working for as a data scientist a couple of years, and then I got promoted to senior data scientist, and then lead data scientist, and then staff data scientist, and then again, it was in the path of my career that I felt like I want to do something more. Then I started leading a data science team as a junior manager, and then I got step by step till now that I'm leading I would say big team of data science, around 40 people.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Thank you.
That's a great journey to be on, and kudos to you for starting off, coming in to a new country and excelling right off the bat. I've got a lot of questions with respect to just that part. So can you tell us about when you started your journey as a leader? What kind of training or experience did you have? Did you have any mentorship going into that role? How difficult was it? What were some of the challenges in your first role, and how did you get through those?
Mm-hmm. It's a great question. The reason, first of all, that I became a leader is were my leaders. So I had great leaders in my career, and when I was at school, and I had some people that I had challenges with, and I think that was the leaders that I had challenge with was my pivot point. That I started switching from an employee to become a more leader, running leadership positions, to just help people of unblocking themselves, and I think delivering a better and healthier work environment, but by learning from like those mistakes. And I think like leadership is not only like a job, it's an educational path. It's
That's right.
not that like you think you become a leader, you just do things right. But the same as like people who are actually doing all the hard workings and like codings, at least in my domain, leadership is exactly the same. So they have to keep their knowledge up to date. It's
Yes.
exactly the same for leaders to keep educate themselves, keep learn about like the new things, the new techniques of leaderships, like have the mentorship, as you said. Like I always have at least 2 or 3 mentors in my career path.
Wow.
To like and those are my exciting times, that like giving 15 minutes of someone's time to every four months. One of my leaders, I actually met him 15 minutes every 4 months. And I was so happy when I got that time from him, because I know that that's going to be a shining point in my career, the way that like I can learn from him, I can learn from his experience, and I can bring those experience back and practice it in my career path.
That's right. Okay, perfect. Now, again, you talked about having those mentors. What's the best way for the young professionals out there to go out and find mentors? It's very hard for people because they don't know where to start. They're afraid to approach people, thinking they're going to get rejected. They look at titles and they're kind of they get spooked by the titles. So how do you go about finding mentors if you're a young professional?
It's a great question. First of all, we shouldn't be afraid of rejection. Rejection comes by nature of it. Like not
Yes.
everyone would spend time to, or at least they have limited time and they have limited resources to provide. So we can't expect like whenever we approach to someone, we would be able to accept it. There will be rejection, and that's part of the process. But the thing is, the other thing that I would always consider is sometimes you get along with someone, sometimes you don't. Like not necessarily every leader is a great mentor for myself. So I usually try to see like, can I see myself work for that person, or work with that person, or that person work for myself. If our personalities get along with that, I would say knowledge and that path, then that's when I approach. And then if person has time, great. If not, I usually wait. I wait and follow up. I chase them until I get. Sometimes maybe in a year, maybe in 2 years, maybe in 3 years, but usually like it happens.
Stay persistent.
Yeah, that's the key, like being persistent.
Exactly. No, I couldn't agree with you more. Now, you also touched up on something very important that's also critical in leadership, and that's being able to pivot. Again, how do you determine when to pivot, and how do you get the courage to know when something's not going right and you gotta make that quick decision and pivot in leadership? And how do you get there?
It's a great question, and it's not an, I would say, easy question to answer. For it comes, some of them it's personal, like it depends on your personality, how easy and fast you can switch, how easy and fast you can redirect or try new things. My background, as you mentioned, like it's engineering, you usually try to make it happen.
Yes.
And we are persistent with that. And it's not easy to change the direction very often. So it requires some practice. And I would say like for me to make it happen, at least for myself, I did practice that for a while, to be open to new things, to be open to new directions, and usually like listen more than speak. And then give myself some time to digest and analyze what I've heard or the situations, and then like come up with a new solution. If it requires a change of direction, always be open to that.
That's right.
And then maybe something better happen, and 70, not always, but 70% of the time something new happens and something better happen with changing. If you feel, for myself, if I feel stuck at something,
Yes.
I'm always open to try new things. Like it can be my career, my personal life, whatever it is. Like I always consider to try different directions, and most of the time I would say it works.
So that's a great point. And I feel that there's a lot of people that are stuck in life in various aspects of their life. It can be in their career, personal life. I think a lot of us have been there.
Mhm.
Now, again, from a mindset perspective, how do you strengthen your mindset to get over that hump of being stuck? And what do you practice yourself with
Mhm.
respect to that?
I will try to answer it in two directions. One is my personal life. One is my career path. For the career, usually we get stuck as a team. Like it's if the project gets stuck, we get stuck. It's not that the employee who is getting it done is got stuck. All the people who are working for that particular project got stuck, and then me as a manager got stuck. My manager gets stuck.
That's right.
All of us. I would say it's a ripple effect that affects us like a team, I would say. In those situations when something, not all the projects that we try to deliver get delivered, not all the ambition that the senior leaders have would happen. So we just need to be open about if something didn't happen or didn't get delivered, what else we can do?
Yeah.
How can we fix it? What are the other options? And I the way that I face it is I usually ask the team to be open. And when they say, Mariam, this is not working, I was like, okay, it's not working. What is working? Like, how can we fix it?
Yes.
What do you think about it? So always being open to people to first, I think if they feel they are heard,
Yes.
and they have the right to speak, and they have the right to vote, and they are the people who own it, and they are the people who are accountable for this. And I usually try to give this accountability to the team members. Then we will, as a team, we usually come up with some solution. Maybe it's not the ideal solution, but we will find something to make it work here and there. Maybe the timeline is not properly well defined. Maybe it's just the adjustment of the timeline. Maybe adjustment of some of the requirement. Maybe it's requires some adjustment of the team members. I don't know, whatever it is, but we come to the solution as a team.
Yes.
By just having proper discussion and conversation of solving the problem, not only as a leader. I'm not the only person who is accountable or responsible. It's the whole team working together to make something happen. It's not the ownership of the project is Mariam's ownership. It's the whole team who owns the project. So that's something that I usually try to communicate with the team, with my team, in the frequent occasions, every week in the team meeting. I'll make sure that the team feels that they own it. Good. And they are accountable. And once they are accountable, once they're passionate about what they do, then they will make it happen. You don't need to chase or follow up or do anything else. It's just our responsibility as a leader is make sure that right person is in right position and they love what they do.
That's right.
That's it. The rest will happen.
Absolutely.
And in my personal life, I would say follow the same path. If something doesn't work, have a proper conversation, try to make it work. If it's not working, then maybe we're doing something wrong. Maybe we should be open to like try something else, something new. And usually, in most of the case, I would say like it will happen, but we are human. Some of the
That's right.
cases it might not happen as well. We just need to be open to that.
That's right. What if you feel stuck within yourself, and then there is nobody, or there's nobody that you want to talk to? Is that a conversation you have with yourself? Do you do journaling? What kind of methods do you use to kind of get over that hump?
I'm I'm a talkative person, and like I am easy to speak to, and I'm easy to like have conversation with other people. I can talk to anyone.
It's amazing.
So this feeling of getting stuck, it doesn't happen to me very often.
Good.
When I feel stuck, I talk to people. I talk to my husband. I talk to my parents. I talk to my siblings. I talk to my therapist. I talk to my manager. I talk to my employee. I'm not ashamed of like speaking to or reaching out to people, and I am not like embarrassed of telling that I'm stuck or asking for help. When I feel that I can solve something, no matter what it is, I reach out for help. The help can be, I start with my internal circles, like my husband, my families. Know if I can't get it done, like I talk to my therapist, I talk to my friends, I talk to my leaders, my mentors. There should be someone who can help us.
Exactly.
It's just a matter of finding that person. The other thing is like sometimes it's not one or two people. Sometimes combination of gathering information from multiple people, I would say, is give us like more confident to make a decision to solve the problem or solve. I'm pretty sure there's not a situation, or there are rare situations that nobody had experienced before. So
that's right.
Talking to other people, and usually when you're honest and when you're asking for honest help, people are like decent and offer helps. It's just a matter of how you ask and what you ask.
Absolutely. No, and that's great to hear that, you're okay with asking for help, because again, that's a barrier a lot of people have, is they have that fear that or shame to talk to somebody because they think their issue
judged.
they're going to be judged by someone. So that's amazing. So Mariam, as a director of one of Canada's largest financial institutions, what leadership lessons have stood out to you the most?
I would say one of the main things that I learned from my mentors is it's not me who owns or accountable for my team or my deliveries. How can we make this accountability for all the team members to get them engaged, to get them involved? Then the rest is like one of my great mentors, he was always saying, a leader is not responsible for delivering the project. A leader is responsible for making other leaders. And how making other leaders happen is like what is your art of making other people accountable for what you want to get delivered? If you help them to marry with what they want to do or what they are supposed to do, then we don't need to worry about anything else. It will happen automatically because they feel the accountability for what needs to be delivered. That's one thing. The other thing is like when I select the team, sometimes you inherit the team, sometimes you have the opportunity of like making the selection. If I have the opportunity of selecting my team members, like I would always reach out to people who are passionate about what they want to do, who are passionate about their career path, and who are responsible people for anything. Like they're responsible for their family, they're responsible for their I don't know, like pets. This responsibility, if you have it in your own, like
Yes.
in yourself, it gets translated to your work as well. So more than we can always educate people of technicality. Like anyone can learn AI,
Yes.
anyone can learn machine learning, anyone will be spending like 3 months to 6 months will be able to design a machine learning algorithm. But I can't like afford to teach someone to be passionate
Yes.
about
Yes.
like machine learning or about their career. We don't not that we can't afford, but I think we have limited time. So usually I invest on people rather than their talent and skills. The talent and skills are learnable, educatable.
Yes.
But the people itself is the key that
Amazing.
like how to
I couldn't agree with you more. Now, I want to go back to your statement about accountability. Now, whereas I totally agree with you that it's good to have people accountable for, let's say, the outcome of a project, so they feel like they're part of that project. But ultimately, wouldn't you say that the leader is accountable for the team that they're leading?
Mm-hmm. We are accountable for the team. And the team also not only accountable for the project, they are accountable against their friends, employees, managers, other teams that they are working on. Like when I said accountable or accountability, I didn't mean exactly like the project. Those ones comes by itself.
Correct.
Those are side product. You just need to be accountable with other people.
Yes.
It needs to be accountable for your manager. If you feel that but not being responsible for your project, you're gonna let the whole team down.
Yep.
It's not only yourself who is not delivering. It's a ripple effect that like affects the whole team. If we can communicate this properly and select people who are willing to work with each other and enjoying working with each other and not have a tension like team, I think like the rest should work by itself.
Everything else falls into place.
Yes.
Exactly. So you also mentioned and talked about engagement. Again, going to ask you, what do you think are some of the key factors to creating engagement within a team environment?
I think like selecting people and being smart to connect the people who can get aligned with each other and work with each other is one of the key factor of this engagement. If we set people who don't enjoy working with each other, I think that engagement is gonna fall apart by itself. For my projects, it's not like one person lead one project. It's usually a team who are working on one projects and make it happen. So we just need to make sure that like these people who are putting in one projects or one delivery get along, they enjoy working with each other, and they feel like responsible for each other. I think the rest will be aligned after that. I need to write that.
Having said that, now there's always cases where team members don't get along with each other. What's your approach in when two people have conflict within a team? What's your first approach, and how do you deal with that?
I'm actually dealing with one of them right now.
There you go. Always there.
I know. Two things. One is try to encourage them to work together, which based on my experience, sometimes is not the best solution, and it might not happen. Like sometimes two people, they don't click with each other. So nothing wrong about that. But what I try to do is like I try to speak with each of them individually and understand what exactly they want to do, what exactly they will be passionate to do, and make them put them in the right place, I would say. I think like my current situation is like both of them are people who want to own like the I would say the whole projects. Both of them are strong leaders
Yes.
inside, and sometimes it's not easy to get along with each other. So the way that like I'm trying to solve this problem is understand what exactly each of them would like to do, will be passionate to do, and will enjoy to do, and then make them the lead of like two separate projects too. So each of them have their own sense of ownership, have their own sense of leadership, and then it's going to be a win situation for myself as well. So I need to less worried about two projects rather than one.
You mitigate the risk.
Yes.
Awesome.
That's true.
So having said that again, we always, or leaders deal with what we call difficult conversations. Now, what's your take on that phrase, difficult conversation? Because I've got a different take on that phrase specifically. But as a young leader, starting your journey, what's your advice to them in terms of having these difficult conversations? Where do they start? And what do they need to do when going into those kind of conversations with any team members?
I think like these difficult conversation, obviously it's hard because you need to come out of your comfort zone to make this conversation. It's not easy to make. But I think if it comes with honesty and good heart, and you would be able to communicate that, like the reason that we're having this conversation is for the team or the employees' benefit, and it's just for providing an honest help. Then they will open up and not always, but most of the time, and there is a good chance that they will open up and have a proper conversation. But I think like the key is have a proper conversation with honesty and like with good intention of like providing help and trying to resolve the problem rather than blaming only, like, or put the blames on someone or find for the root cause or the problem. I think the more we dig into that, the worse it becomes, rather than if you just change the lens and change the way that you are going to have the conversation, it's going to be more helpful.
Do you feel some managers are going into these difficult conversations with their guard up because they know that they might be attacked by the other side, or not even attacked, but confronted or challenged? And because they have their guard up, that conversation leads to be more, there seems to be more tension in that conversation than, both parties dropping their guards down and having a kind of like a heart-to-heart.
Absolutely. I think like this is one of the common situations that happen, and it really depends on the other side as well. Like the person that you want to have a conversation, how much effort does it require for that person to open up? Sometime in some situation, it might not even work. So like and if you expect that there is a guard, I think like it's always worth to try and to like make the person to open up, or like see if there is any hope for help that we can offer. We can always like look with that lens, but I also understand that in some situation you might not, this might not be an option according to corporation laws or like situations. It really depends. I understand that like we don't even go through that path, but if I personally wants to like talk to someone, that was my first like choice and approach. If it doesn't work, then maybe I'll consider the second one as well.
Okay, good. Now, Mariam, RBC has been very vocal about the importance of diversity, equity, and inclusion. How have you seen these values play out in your work and leadership journey?
I'm the great example
Exactly.
of people of minority. I'm an ethnic woman who end up in leadership position in RBC. I would say like RBC is actually one of the greatest place of practicing that. It's not just the words that comes, but we practice this culture on our day-to-day basis in the whole RBC. So I would say, not that I'm an RBCer, but it's a great company for minor visibility or people of inclusion to work for because you will have as equal opportunities
Nice.
to any others, and you will feel that you've heard, you've been respected, and you would provided equal opportunities to grow.
Amazing. And you know what? You're actually not the first person that I've heard that from at RBC. So kudos to you, RBC, for doing that. Now, another question I have for you is something I personally talk about with many people, and I feel that society creates this segregation between men and women. And some of the things I see with respect to leadership, that's where I spend a lot of time in. We call it women leaders, and for me, I call it leaders. I don't think your gender or your age or anything has to do with the word leadership. If you're a leader, you're a leader. You're a leader. What are your thoughts around that? Where we're calling, male leadership, women leadership. What are your thoughts around that as being,
Women leader.
a woman? Not gonna call it a woman leader, but a woman in a leadership role.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's a great question, and I think it's not something that has been around for 2 years or 3 years. I think we are dealing with this for thousands or hundreds of years right now. We're getting better and better on this, but I can't deny that like we can still feel it. It still exists, but we are doing huge progress into this. And part of it may be like it's historical.
Yes.
That like women were always in charge of the house, taking care of the kids or family, and like recently in the less than 100 years ago, women started like also taking responsibility outside of their household. It requires practice, and it requires like effort. It's not gonna something that happens within a night or so, but I think like we are moving towards the right direction. We can see that like in most of like largest Canadian corporation, at least I can speak, more than 30% of C-levels or C-suites are becoming women. So this means that we are providing opportunity to also like women,
correct,
to be able to like benefit from that or participate in that. But we are still having rooms to grow.
That's right.
And I think like we are going towards the right direction.
But do you think or believe or feel that there's a differentiation between a woman leader and a male leader?
In the corporations that I work for, I didn't feel that. It might be in society exists. I can't deny that.
Yeah.
But I used to work for professional corporations most of the time. And I didn't feel such a thing.
Okay.
So
good. Excellent.
Thank you.
Mariam, you'll be joining us as a panelist on the Young Professional Leadership Summit this October. What excites you the most about taking part in some of these conversations with the young professionals?
What excites me the most is like sharing my journey, and that like how I came to Canada as an international student, and I found my path to one of the largest corporations in North America. And I still think that like there are lots of room to grow. How And I would love to share that with anyone who joins that session,
Nice.
that the sky is the limit. Like we can achieve whatever we want. It's just a matter of being passionate about it and work hard and take the responsibility for what we do, and we will make it happen.
Perfect. Awesome. Now we've come to the part of the podcast where we call rapid fire questions. So I'm going to ask you a series of questions, and you tell me what first comes to your mind. First job you ever had?
I work as a design engineer in Siemens.
Oh, nice. What is the one leadership book that's impacted your leadership journey?
I'm not good at names, but the one was from Simon Sinek.
Okay.
Um,
Start with your why, or
it's leadership something.
okay. No worries.
I'll message you the name.
One habit that keeps you sharp as a leader?
Accountable for people.
Okay. What is the one word that describes Mariam best?
People person.
And lastly, where can people find you?
My office all the time. Usually, like I start working around 7. I finish around 6:30. So, like during the day in my office. After that, like weekends, usually I go to farms.
Nice.
So I would say the best place to find me is the office.
Okay, excellent. Again, I want to thank you so much for spending your time with us here on the RK Leadership Podcast. We greatly appreciate all the stories and insights that you shared with us.
Thank you.
And we can't wait to see you on stage on October 18th in Toronto. And so if you guys are out there, there's always time to get tickets for this event. Again, thank you very much for all those listening. Thank you very much for joining today's podcast. And we'll see you in the next one. Take care, everybody.